Guys, Spartan here, Feb 10th, 2022 recap for today. So market opened up. I was bullish out the gate. I had a notion that we were going to go higher all day today and potentially actually squeeze and break out if the 50 MA was reclaimed. We did obviously get a nice little push out the gate. We played SPY calls. That was the first trade that we took right when the market opened up, 460s, which ended up going up over 100%. We had some MU 88s overnight, which ended up going up over 1,000%. We had some MU 92 calls, which ended up going around, I think it was 780% as well on the roll. So that was a really good trade on MU. Some other stuff that we did this morning out the gate, some highlights would be we did Amazon calls, the 3250s, which worked out nicely. We did some Facebook calls, the 235s, which ended up going up over 100%. BA 220s, which ended up getting in the money, going up over 100% as well. Some other big trades that we did, Square, we did the 215 calls, right, or 115 calls out the gate, which ended up going up over a couple 100%, which was a really nice trade. GMI 10 calls ended up getting, 1050 calls ended up getting right at the money for a 100% trade as well. Airbnb, we had the 180 calls, which ended up going, roughly 86, 87%. What else did we do? We did some NVIDIA calls, which worked out okay. SPY, like I said, that was a good one. 265% actually is what it ended up going. And other than that, I mean, it was a pretty good intraday. TSM, we did 127s out the gate, which ended up going a couple 100% as well. RBLX, we had the 72 calls, which ended up going up over 100%. Sava, we did this trade. We actually, right when it started to move, we grabbed the 60s at 85 cents, and you can see where these things went. It's like 500 and something percent. Actually, it was actually over 1,000% on that, I believe. Sorry, over 600% on these. Let me just show you. Yep. So roughly 600% and change, which was a really good trade. And then actually on Sava, when the name pushed to the upside, what we also did as well was sold the 65 calls against it on the pop, and those were at 315, and they came all the way down to like 25 cents by the end of the day. So we took advantage of that little push there. Some of the stuff that didn't work on the option side, we had some small things like SLGG. We took a little bit of a lotto, didn't work. The 250 calls. We also tried some CFEI. This ended up going about 20%, but we just ended up just exiting that position. Didn't end up working out. GRWG, flat trade on that as well. We tried some SPY puts and calls at the end of the day. We just scalped it, 30% here, 30% there. A couple of decent trades on that. A lot of scalp trading at the end of the day. Another one that we did was Square puts and equity short when the Afrin news came out, because these guys are a partner of Afrin, and that obviously came in nicely as well. Another trade that didn't work was CVX, and this one we grabbed the 135 puts, and we just really didn't get that big of a pull, so we just ended up taking it off for about like a 5 cent, 6 cent loss. So it wasn't a huge deal there. On the equity side, we had a couple different things that worked out really nicely out the gate, because we were mainly long on a bunch of stuff. Tesla at 908 ended up getting all the way to 943, so huge push there. We actually rolled into 950 calls as well, so that was nice. UPST, we had it at 110, ended up going up 10 points. RBLX, we had it at 68.64, ended up going about 4 or 5 points to the upside. DDOG, we had it at 174.60 or 174.70, ended up getting a nice little push on that for about 10 points as well. IRNT, we had it this at actually overnight, and I was tweeting about it, but we had it at around 342, and we sold most of it last night, and then basically scaled in a little bit more this morning, sold into the pop, and I ended up just taking off the rest of that spec position at the end of the day there. It was a nice little trade. Snow, we scalped this at 325 into the 329 area. We did team long as well this morning, scalped it into the high 340s. AMD, we tried to take some of this long at 131. This ended up we ended up getting stopped out of the position on this one. Didn't end up working. It kind of pulled back there. And essentially, it was a pretty good day intraday on the equity side as well. Some of the names that we did at the end of the day, because that matters. We did some Netflix short on the volatility to the downside into the 96 level. We did that Square short, as I talked about. Some people were scalping Afrin. I was just guiding the levels on it for whomever wanted to do anything on it, because We actually did play the upside on after when that tweet came out. We grabbed some equity long, played it for a couple points. We grabbed some calls along. They ended up going above 50% to the upside, and then we sold some calls against it, and we had a credit on that spread. So either way, we'll make money on it, which is great. We'll hold it into expiration. But other than that, pretty busy day. Interesting to say the least with the market's volatility on, Bullard coming out talking about that rate hike, which seems to be like he's preparing the market for it. It seems to be very coordinated. The market actually was fairly resilient even on the pullback. 449 was the key level. It did hold on the daily, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be a very busy Lotto Friday. I'm excited. I think there's going to be a ton of opportunity, especially with this amount of range, so we'll see what happens. If you guys want to join us, we do stream from 8 a.m. all the way till 4 p.m. every single day. And yeah, Discord, streaming on Zoom. You guys can check us out, www.spartantrading.com. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and watch for more daily recaps. See you guys. Have a good one.